If any skincare brand would scream out any name like that, vitamin C, retinol, I used to really get very excited thinking that, oh, it must be great, awesome. I need to try, I need to buy this. Oh, the packaging is so pretty, and there are so many fancy claims. You need to read the ingredients well, like initially, highest amount of concentration to the lowest amount of concentration. It is written in that manner. Whenever you are going to read your ingredients, there are three zones. The first one is called the top zone. Okay, now the top zone is usually you'll find water, which you even get to read aqua. Then comes your oils, then emulsifiers. All those things are the foundation of the product. Next comes the middle zone, and technically that is the most important zone, because that's where you are going to find your actives. So if you find that it is near the top zone, that's dangerous, because this means it has in a very high concentration. And even if it is at the end, you'll get to know that, oh, this means it's just a marketing gimmick. So it should be somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that is called the middle zone, where all the magical ingredients are present. And at the end, are your it is called the bottom zone. Now the bottom zone will be having your preservatives, fragrance, then colorants. These are the ones which are kind of the villain. But again, in order to store the product for so long, you need to have those preservatives. So now, just in a very gist, I'm going to share about the ingredients. Now the first one, which is the niacinamide. I remember talking about niacinamide serum for your redness, for your dark spots, for any kind of oiliness on your face. Your barrier is damaged. For that, you can use niacinamide serum. Niacinamide serum is far much better than vitamin C. Sometimes we keep talking about vitamin C serum a lot, but if you're a beginner, you want to try out any serum initially, because your skin really looks very dry and dull. You want to, want that dark spots to vanish. But you want to take time and do that. So for that, you can use a niacinamide serum. I can think of Plum 5% as a starter pack, and then you can go with 10%. You can use it, and make sure you're using a moisturizer right after that. It's really great. Vitamin C is another hero product. There's a lot of pollution around you, and there's UV rays attacking you. Vitamin C is acting like a bodyguard on your skin. So it's basically fighting with the UV rays. So for that reason, it is helping you with your pigmentation, dull and dark spots. It's going to help you with hyperpigmentation, but it takes a lot of time. And another thing, if it even helps reduce tanning, but if you cannot put sunscreen properly on your face, and if you're not reapplying your sunscreen again and again, vitamin C, which is like a bodyguard on your skin, will start fighting with your skin. Vitamin C serum in the morning, and after that, you're applying your sunscreen and you are going out. That's really great for people those who are living in Western area, or where people there's too much of the weather is better. But I would suggest for Indian climate, it is better to put vitamin C at night. It is far much better. If you're using retinol, you will not use retinol and vitamin C together. That's going to be a bigger problem. But if you really want to put vitamin C serum, you really wish to have a glowing face and all that, you use it at night, and in the morning you are going to apply sunscreen. Next is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is really good for people those who have very dry skin, dry and dehydrated skin. Let me give you an example very easily. You have put hyaluronic acid serum on your face, okay, and you have not put any moisturizer. So basically, hyaluronic acid is like a sponge, and it is always in search of water. Okay, that is the reason why when you put hyaluronic acid on your face, your skin looks plump, your lines become softer, and it really looks very nice. Especially, I remember using those L'Oreal hyaluronic acid, and it gave such a nice lumpy feeling on the face that I was in love. But that time I never used to put moisturizer too much, and I found out that my face started becoming drier. So that's where I went wrong. So especially if you are in an air conditioned room, you have applied hyaluronic acid and you've not applied any moisturizer. Now what is happening to the serum is searching for moisture or water, and the moment it is not receiving from the environment, what it does, it starts sucking the moisture from your skin and it absorbs. So what is happening when the serum goes off from your face? You are ending up having a drier skin. So that is the reason why, let me tell you, that whenever you are putting hyaluronic acid, always put up, like you have to lock it with moisture. That's when and that's how hyaluronic acid is going to, boost up that moisture, and it's going to give you that plump feeling. Otherwise, if you're not using a moisturizer on top of hyaluronic acid, it's not going to work. Rather, it's going to make your skin drier. Comes the next very, very important acid for people, those who have very oily skin, those who have, okay, I can think of this acid. It's called salicylic acid, and I would call it as a plumber. Now, why would I call it as a plumber? Now, your skin has a lot of, clogged pores. Okay. It has oiliness. It has all those whiteheads, blackheads, everything is stuck. So, what is salicylic acid doing? It is entering your skin and it is trying to clear out all the pores. So, what it is going to do, what does a plumber do? Plumber usually clears all the drainage system and makes so that the water flows easily. So salicylic acid, just like that, it breaks down all the buildup, it melts everything from your face, and you start to get a much cleaner and clearer face. Again, let me tell you, if you're using salicylic acid, these are very drying agents. Always apply a very light moisturizer. I can tell you that I know your skin is oily. You can use a very light moisturizer like this or any other light moisturizer that you're using. Next, I'm going to talk about is retinol. Another of this ingredient is like the Pro Max level of ingredient. It really feels like it has a bigger reputation. Well, retinol is like a gym trainer. The more you age, your cell turnover, becomes very slow, and that's when retinol, like a gym trainer, will help those cells, to work faster, so that the old cells can, shed faster and the newer ones come on top. So that's basically what retinol does. Retinol also helps with pigmentation, with textured skin, dry skin. You have to really apply retinol in a very, very small dose, like a pea-sized dose, and you can only use it at night. Do not use it in the morning. And whenever you are waking up, let it be cloudy weather, let it be sunny, rainy, winter, whatever the weather is, you will have to put a sunscreen even when you are indoor. Now, the next ones are like, these acids are basically your scrubbers. Okay, they are your exfoliators. These sounds really very dangerous, but they are not if you apply it properly. These are your AHAs, okay, your glycolic acid, your lactic acid, and in certain point even mandelic acid. Now, for my skin, I usually, since I have a combination skin, and I even have dry skin as well during winter or during less humid times, so I'm too scared to use lactic acid right now. So that's why I have started with mandelic acid. Now, let me tell you, mandelic acid is very slow. Okay, it will take a lot of time, but let me tell you, whenever I apply mandelic acid, I've always noticed that on the next day, my skin really becomes very smooth. Like once only I've used and I felt that it's so smooth. So imagine if you use lactic acid or if you use glycolic acid. These are really very, very concentrated. So make sure that you're very careful using these, because it might strip your moisture as well. So that is why be very careful with your AHAs whenever you are applying it. Just because you are noticing results so quickly, don't use it too often, or don't use it in a very, you know don't use it in a very in a large amount. If you've never used AHAs, start with mandelic acid once you're done with the entire bottle, because it will take a lot of time. You will be using once a week. And even let me tell you, whenever you get any pimple or anything on your face, stop all your actives. Don't use serum, don't use exfoliators on your face. So you have to wait until your pimple completely removes, then you again start off with your exfoliator, again you start off with your serums. Okay, otherwise you will just do your normal cleansing, toning, moisturizing, and a daytime sunscreen. That's it. If you need any for any certain skin issue, you can use a serum, and exfoliators you can use once a week. I would suggest you do use it. Okay, first you start off with mandelic acid. Once it is over, then you can level up using a lactic acid. Once you're done with that and you're confident to use a glycolic acid, start off with it. And honestly speaking, the ordinary glycolic acid is a multitasker. Always use it properly. And again, I would suggest you do not use any face wash or any body wash which contains high concentrated exfoliators, because what is it's going to happen, it is going to strip away the moisture from your skin. So if you can put a body oil, or if you can put moisturizer after your shower, then you can use these type of products. Or otherwise, if you are not going to use it, not going to moisturize your skin properly, then please, I would suggest you not to use exfoliating body wash and exfoliating face wash. These are actually more, even for oily skin, it is too much. The next, these are your unsung heroes, your ceramides. You find these mostly in moisturizers, even in your sunscreens nowadays. If you think your cells are like bricks, ceramides are the cement. What happens to a house with bricks with no cement? So ceramide is very much present in your skin. But since, because we have a lovely environment that we are creating for ourselves, so that is why we even need external moisturizers a lot. These are your hero ingredients. These are very much essential for your particular needs. But along with that, you will find a lot of preservatives, a lot of fragrances, as I've mentioned. Make sure that that list should not be long in your products, because if that ingredient list is long, this means it's a problem. So make sure that you are not putting too much of those. Again, I must say that if your products even contain too much of sulfates, SLS, avoid those products also, because if you keep using those products repeatedly, regularly, you're basically stripping your oil from your skin. Now, let me tell you, for your hair also, we use shampoo which has SLS. Now, I have told you before also, and right now also, that there should be a balance. Like every time you're using a shampoo with SLS will strip off the moisture from your hair, but again at the same time, to remove the gunk, to remove the oiliness from your scalp, you will need SLS or sulfate as well. So balance it in such a way that maybe once you are using an SLS shampoo or any product on your face, like a face wash, where you need sulfate because you want that squeaky clean because it's too dirty or whatever the reason is, but not all the time. So always use your product. You must be knowing your products really well, what it has, because always remember, your skin is your skin. It is not a specimen for the skincare brands. Okay, so always choose your product wisely. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Bye bye.